Hello students, standard 7th. We started the revision in the chemistry, chapter number 3, fiber to fabric. In the last session we learned about the different animals that yielding wool. In different region of our country, we get wool from the different animals, like the sheep, Angora goats, the other goats in the other region like mountain region goats, then yak in Ladakh and that place, and in another place like in South America, we get that alpaca and the other animal like llama. Now we are going to see today that from fiber to wool, the whole process. Now first of all, as we saw that for the purpose of getting wool, the sheep are reared, means they are selected and then they are fed properly. Generally we know that the sheep are herbivorous, so they prefer the grass and leaves. But for their better growth, apart from the grazing, they are also giving the mixture of pulses, corn, jowar, and the oil cakes. Oil cakes means the seeds from which we get oil. After extracting the oil, the remaining parts, they are known as oil cakes. And the minerals are also given. So, in different part, whatever type of crop is obtained, they are fed on that. Generally in the winter, they are kept indoors. They are not allowed to go outside for the grazing. They keep them indoors and fed them on the leaves, grain and dry fodder. Now, certain breeds of the sheep have the thick fur and thick under hair. So, as we learned in the beginning also, that by the selectively bred, they choose the special type of parents so that their infants, their new generation will have nice thick under hair, so that they can get nice wool, and then they are shaved off for getting wool. So now this processing from fiber to fabric, it is into several steps. Step by step this process will going on. So we will learn its steps one by one, that how they do, and then wool that we use to make the shawl, to make the sweaters, and another like they knit the sweater themselves also from the wool. So there is a long process. So we will learn the steps involving in this whole process. The first thing is to get the hair from that body. So the fleece of the sheep along with a thin layer of skin is removed from its body, and that process is called shearing. So first step is shearing, in which the hair along with the thin layer of the skin is saved from the body of the sheep or the other animals also. Machines similar to those used by barbers are used to shave off hair. When you go to the barber for a haircut, you know that they are using that machine. Same type of machines are used to shave off the hair. Usually hair are removed during the hot weather. Generally, it is not shaved off in the winter season, because in the winter this hair is helping them to get heat, to keep them warm. So if you shaved off them in the winter season, then they cannot survive in the very cold weather. So generally when the winter season is finished and the summer is starting, in the summer season they are getting shaved off. And as I told you that they can survive in the cold weather. Woolen fibers are then produced to obtain woolen yarn. Shearing does not hurt the sheep just as it does not hurt when you get a haircut of your father shaves his beard. We know that we shave our beard. That is also same like shearing. We remove the hair from your face. In this also we do not hurt. Similarly, when they use that machines for the shearing, the sheep are also not getting hurt. So it is not harmful for them. So shearing does not hurt the sheep. The uppermost layer of the skin is dead. Why? Because the upper layer is generally dead. So it does not get hurt. But if you are cut under that layer, then you will feel that pain. So here also in the animals, the upper layer of the skin, when it is shaved off along with the hair, they do not get hurt because that skin is almost dead skin, and therefore they do not hurt by that. Also, the hair of sheep grow again just as your hair does. Since we know that when we have a haircut or we shave off our beard, then again it's growing similarly on the body of the sheep also. When the hairs are shaved off, again it starts growing also. So it is not that we are making them open for the next winter. During the summer season again they will grow that hair which will protect them in the winter season. Now the second step. From first step what did we do? We just shaved that hair along with the skin, which was known as shearing. Now the second step is known as scouring. What is that? That we are going to know. The shed skin with hair is thoroughly washed in tanks to remove grease, dust and dirt. So whatever is stuck on that hair, because they are going somewhere outside, and in this they will have some grease or dust or another things are stuck on their hair. So it is washed thoroughly to remove that everything dirt, and that is known as scouring. Nowadays scouring is done by machines. So that scouring is done by machine. You can see by manually or by machines. You can see that here they are doing manually, but here you can see that scouring by the machines. Here they are scouring by using machines. Here manually they are putting in that with the water and detergent or something, and they are washing here. But nowadays if it is in the large scale, it takes time, so they use machines also for the scouring. Then the step 3, After scouring, sorting is done. So the third step is sorting. What is that sorting? Let's see. The small, after scouring, sorting is done, the hairy skin is sent to a factory where hair of different textures are separated or sorted. Means we sort it out. Different types of textures, all the hairs are not will be equal, and therefore they are sent to the factory and then they are sorting out into different textures. Means they are separated, and that process is known as sorting. So now that was the third step in which the different textures fibers are getting separated. Then the fourth step, in the fourth step, the small fluffy fibers which are known as burrs, they are picked out from the hair. These are the same burrs which sometimes appear on your sweaters. Generally on your sweater sometimes you will see that small fibers are coming on it, which are known as burrs. So that burrs are picked out from the hair. The fibers are scoured again and dried. This is the wool ready to be drawn into fibers. So now this wool are ready for drawn into fibers. Now they will make the fibers of that. Then the step number 5. In step 5, what do they do? The fiber can be dyed in various colors, because all of the colors of that we get fiber from different animals will not be the same. There will be some different of the shade, and therefore they are dyed in various colors that we need. We know that the sweaters, shawl, etc. are of different colors. So they are dyed in various colors. As the natural fleece of sheep and goats is black, brown or white. They are only in the 3 colors, either the black or the white, or some are the brown. And therefore, to make them in different colors, they have to dye. And therefore, they are getting dyed and then for the different colors. And the last step is the step 6. The fibers are straightened. Then they are combed and rolled into yarn. They are rolled into yarn as shown in this figure. They are making rolls in the yarns. So they are rolled to yarns. Now, if the fibers are long or short, according to that, they will do the things that is required. So, the longer fibers are made into wool for sweaters, and the shorter fibers are spun and woven into woolen cloth. So, the longer fibers made into wool for the, that they are knitting the sweaters also with using that long thing they are required, needles. So, if they are longer yarns, they are making wool for the knitting the sweaters and shawls, etc. And if the yarns fibers are shorter, they are spin them and then weaven, means they weave them into the direct woolen clothes, because the long yarn cannot be made from them, and therefore they make the woolen clothes for them. So now sometimes the sorter, especially in the sorter, when they are doing the sorting material, they are having a occupational hazard. Hazard means caution, because they can have a disease which is known as sorter's disease also. What is that disease? That disease that we are going to learn about. Wool industry is an important means of livelihood for many people in our country, but sorter's job is risky as sometimes they get infected by a bacterium called anthrax, which causes a fatal blood disease called sorter's disease. Because during the sorting process, sometimes they are getting the infection, especially from the bacteria known as anthrax. And that anthrax bacterium are responsible for a very dangerous blood disease, which is named as sorter's disease. So they have to be very, very careful when they are doing this job. So such risk faced by workers in any industry are called occupational hazards. So there are maybe another occupations also are some such that the workers are in the danger. So they are known as occupational hazards. So the sorting, especially in the sorting step, they have to be very, very careful because they can be getting the bacterial infections due to the anthrax bacteria, and which is responsible for the disease of the blood, and that is known as the sorter's disease. So now here we learn about everything from fiber to wool, that in how many steps. The first step, the shearing, means shaved off the skin along with the hair. Then scouring means getting washed properly with to remove the dirt and the grease and other things. And then sorting means the different textures are there, so they are getting sorted out. Then small fluffy fibers, which are known as burrs, they are separated from it. Then they are dyed in the different colors, because generally they are in the black, white or grey in color. And then last, they are straightened and then rolled into yarns. And if they are longer, they are converted into wool to make the sweaters and shawls by knitting. Otherwise, if the sorter are there, they are spun and woven into the woolen clothes. So that is the whole story of the fiber to fabric. In the next session, we will learn about another material like the silk, how silk is also obtained from fiber to fabric, that we will learn in the next section. Here we are going to finish today's video, which will be followed by PDF. And if any of us have any confusion, write down in the comment section. Thank you very much.